forces for the first time at the Battle of Preston Pans. Now this battle will be won by the Jacobites in just over 15 minutes. Buoyed on by this success, they'll decide to continue further south, heading into England, aiming for London. And they are gathering support to their cause as they go. By December 1745, they'll reach as far south as the town of Derby. Now Derby is just a 5-day march from London. But there they will stop and hold a council of war to decide what to do next. You see, Prince Charles is incredibly keen to carry on towards London. It's the crown jewel of the empire and it's just a few days away. His advisors, however, are a bit more cautious. They know that there are 2 government armies chasing them from the rear, and they had heard rumours of a 3rd government army of up to 30,000 men standing between the Jacobites and London. Now, Prince Charles will actually be outvoted at this council of war, and the Jacobites will instead decide to retreat back up into Scotland, where they will wait out the winter, get more supplies, more support, try again in the spring and summer. However, with a bit of hindsight, we do now know that this 30,000 strong government army never actually existed. We do believe it was a rumour made up by government spies within the Jacobite ranks. As you see, at this time, London was virtually undefended. In fact, King George II, who's the reigning monarch at this point, he was preparing himself to flee the country entirely if the Jacobites had gotten any closer, leaving the throne wide.
Well, we can stand here on this grey day out on the moor at Culloden, and the scene of the battle of the Jacobites and the forces of Cumberland on the 16th of April 1746, and the massacre that took place here that changed history, not just in these islands but all around the world. And we know there's mass graves here. There's 12 mass graves, the lumps in the land over there of the Highlanders, and well as countless others who still lie where they fell on that dark and miserable day. Not only that day, but the horrors that were to come to the Highlands for so many years after. So, right on cue, the rain has come on, but it's such a sad place, a heavy place, but a place that should be protected for generations to come. Well, I'm standing here with the blue flags on the Jacobite front line from that day, almost 280 years ago now, but this is the line that we need to stand on. This is the line that defended all that was good about the Highlands and the people who lived here, the old ways, the clan ways. This is all that stood between victory and the cultural genocide that took place for 40 years after this battle at the hands of the butcher Cumberland, the devil incarnate himself, and those who would follow him and sign the Act of Proscription. Scots have always been their own worst enemy and kind of remains that way today. But there are people who gladly gave their life on the field that day for something that was better, and something that we could be, and we can't forget them. No matter how much time goes by, they deserve our respect, our honour, and our thanks for what they did. With the benefit of hindsight, we know now that bonny Prince Charlie, when he entered Edinburgh and had a party at the Palace of Holyrood House, if he had been satisfied with that and recalled the Parliament of Scotland at that time, the Union would have been over, and he and his father would have reigned as king. However, ambition and royals being what they are, he savoured the bigger prize of getting to London to be the king of the British Empire. He took his followers with him into England, and it was going to be a fatal mistake, and one which he would eventually pay for by being exiled to France and then to Italy. So perhaps if he had been happy with Edinburgh, the world would have been so much different today. Food for thought.